Welcome to Kognitos. We're so excited to have you as part of our community. I'm Michael, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to build your very first process. So let's get started. We're going to start by picking a use case using these tiles in the playground menu. The playground, of course, is where you can build, design, and test your new agents before you actually put them in production. It's also important to call out that you're not just limited to these 5 tiles here. The use cases that you can build in Kognitos are pretty much endless, but we're going to keep it simple today and just build out this travel and expenses use case. So I'll go ahead and click on the travel and expenses tile, and then I'm going to select from one of the pre-populated documents that we have here. So we'll just select this Uber receipt, and then I will submit this. What we can see here is that Kognitos has already created a starter prompt for us. We want Kognitos to do a couple of things. We want to get the date. We also want to get the start and end location, as well as the amount from the receipt. So it's going to create that prompt for us, and we can go ahead. This looks good. We'll submit it into Kognitos. Once we send in the prompt, Kognitos works to understand the process based on the prompt and any supporting documents, just like that Uber receipt, for example. Kognitos will also identify the necessary skills or integrations needed for that agent. But don't worry, all the required capabilities for this agent are already enabled in your environment. The platform then uses natural language to plan out the process step by step, kind of similar to how you would write an SOP in your organization, or even to how you might onboard a new employee. Similar to a new employee, Kognitos may have some clarifying questions. In this example, Kognitos has a question around calculating the total. Should the total amount include the tip, or should it only reflect the subtotal? Guiding Kognitos is as simple as chatting with your coworker. I can easily respond with something like, the total should include the tip. And now Kognitos knows how to handle this calculation moving forward. It's important that we are building intelligent agents that follow your organization's best practices and guidelines. Once all the clarifying questions have been answered, Kognitos will actually build out the executable process that we can begin to use. Once this is generated, we can simply click apply. And that looks good, so we'll go ahead and accept all. And now we have a fully executable process that your agent can leverage that will read a rideshare receipt, extract fields like the date, start location, end location, and then provide the total amount. So let's go ahead and see if this runs. You can navigate up to the play button, click run, and we should see it execute. We'll need to provide Kognitos with the sample document so we can quickly upload. Let's use that same Uber receipt. Submit. And now Kognitos will continue on with the process, extracting the date field, the start location, end location, as well as the total amount. Now that it's been executed, let's check out the results. So let's take a peek at the actual Uber receipt, pull this up. And there's a couple of things I want to point out. Even though we asked Kognitos to pull the start and end location, there's no indication of a start or end labeled field within the receipt. So let's actually verify that Kognitos was able to interpret what the start and end location was. So we'll go and look at the results here. And we can see that Kognitos successfully pulled that start location, the end location, the date of the ride, as well as the total amount. Now, what if I want to add some steps to my process? You can easily navigate to the chat window to the right, and let's have Kognitos create a table for us using the data that it extracted. So we'll just quickly prompt it, create a table using the extracted data. Kognitos will then generate the actual executable steps and hand it off to us to verify. This looks good. I'll apply it to my process here, and I can go ahead and accept those changes. And within the same window, I can go ahead and test that by clicking the run button. What we should see is Kognitos will create a table and then insert the new rows. Let's verify. Perfect. We now have a table with all the extracted data. And let's add a little bit more to this process. I want to email this information to myself. So we can easily navigate back to the chat interface. and we're going to provide some information. Send an email to myself. We'll make the subject something like rideshare confirmation. And then we can also insert that table into the message. I'll simply put, and the message is the table. And just like we previously did, Kognitos will generate the new steps that I can now apply to my process. We can see that all our indicators on the left-hand side are green, so we know the process has completed. Let's double check our email to make sure it all went through. All right, there it is, the email, the results, and the table displayed in the message body. Going back to the platform, I encourage you to build your very own process on Kognitos. If you get stuck at any point, simply click on the left-hand side and you can interact with our AI chatbot, Kaya, or submit feedback. Kaya has access to all the articles you need to master your agentic automation on Kognitos. For example, you can see here when I search for how can I convert a table on Excel workbook. Kaya will then check the Kognitos knowledge base and provide you with the proper response. Thank you again for joining our community, and we're excited to see what you automate.